What's good? What's good? What's good? My bad, had to troll trying a little bit there. Fucking rat shit wager. Holy shit. If any of you guys listened to my quote tweet the other day, Trent sucks in the playoffs. I told you. So, I mean, I've faded every day. I'm up about a million units. So, nope, not putting a poster up. It's gonna stay like this from now on. I'm gonna get a fat head of the goat whale. Just put it right here. Just sticker it to the wall. So, put that on order right now. Um, all right, so we'll get into it. I'm fucking hype that hockey is back. I know a lot of you guys are gonna want to have questions about your teams, thoughts, etc. I'll make this a longer stream. I'll answer questions, etc. I'm gonna go through probably my favorite bets first. I have teams to win their division. I have teams to not make the playoffs. I have over unders on team points. I have awards. I have teams to finish last, teams to finish first. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 props, as well as the top 5 that are in my get well on Prize Picks, the season long entry. Once I go through all of that, I'll tone it back a little bit and I'll answer questions from you guys. I do have every single team's over under in points written down, and I have a lean on some of them. Um, Not all of them are really easy to analyze, so take it with a grain of salt, and I would say just stick to my favorites. I will also post um, I will also post the notebook on Twitter for of all my favorites that have everything written down, just so you guys can kind of see after, because I'm going to do a lot of spewing during this. So there's quite a few things here that I know you guys aren't going to want to have your money tied up for a whole season, but I mean, last year I think I went 7-0 on the futures. So at least that I told people to take. One of them being 50 units on Canes over the points, which was probably the easiest bet of my entire life. So um, I don't have anything like that this year. I'm sorry, not that confident. I have some 9 out of 10s, but that was like a 55 out of 10, and it was insane. So um, all right, let's get into it. So I'm gonna start out with, I think we'll go with, hmm, let's go with divisions first. So I think that this year there are a lot of teams that can maybe make some rumblings in the divisions in terms of value. The only division I see zero value in is the Metro. I think that the Canes absolutely slap everyone again. It's plus 200 if you don't want to tie yourself up in that, or you just want to throw it in a parlay. That's what I'm liking for the Metro. I think there's not really any value in the Devils. If the Devils were like plus 400 or higher, but they're almost the same as the Canes. And I think that it is, it's kind of shit value in my opinion, taking the Devils at plus 240. Like, I think the Canes are that much better. If you could get them at plus 500 or double, I would be looking at it, but you can't. Um, John, you make a very good point at the 1-2 finish plus 650. I will definitely be looking at that. If that's anything value wise, I would have definitely lock that in. But I don't think the Rangers have any shot at plus 410. I think the Penguins have a better look, but I don't think they beat out both Canes and Devils, in my opinion. So I might stay away from that one in terms of tying up coin for the whole season. This one, the Atlantic, I will definitely have. Um, I think I'm going to put a full unit on the Panthers here, plus 550 to win the Atlantic. Now, the Leafs are the Leafs. We bet on them, what, 3 times in preseason with their full lineup, and they've lost every single time. So I know it's just preseason, but plus 185 is ridiculous for them to win that division. I think the Bruins should have the 5th or 6th best odds, and they have the 2nd best odds. Um, I will stay as far as humanly possible away from that. Yeah, I'll post everything I talk about on Twitter. I really like the value on Sabres, Senators, but I don't think they're going to get first. I don't think they can beat out Leafs, Panthers, Lightning. So just in talks of pure value, I do think that Panthers at plus 500, plus 550, where you can get there. I like that one a lot. Central Division. Only thing I'm taking here, I'm going to put 2 units on the Avs at plus 180, and I'm going to put 1 unit on the Stars at plus 240. No one, I'm sorry, the Wild, love the Wild. They're not going to come close. Jets, not going to come close. Blues, not going to come close. So I'm very far off everyone else there. I think it's going to be Avs, Stars up here. Fat gap, probably the Wild at 3. Another fat gap. I just think it's going to be I think it's going to be all over the place with everyone else that year in that division. So, and then we come to the Pacific. Um, the Pacific, this is tough for me to say, but there's crazy value at the Kings plus 400 to win this. Um, Obviously, the Oilers have very hard, uh, very bad breakdowns defensive goaltender wise. They do put up a lot of goals, and they're but plus 185 is terrible value just to get carried by your offense for an entire season. I don't think the Knights go back to back. I just think that it was not. It was not in the cards to. I think they were just blessed last year. They they clicked very well. Their highest guy. I correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Eichel in the 60s for points in the regular season? It's kind of crazy just how across the board even that whole team was. And I think that not lucky, they played solid, but I just don't think a team like that can repeat. When we're talking about repeating teams in the Lightning, if you're looking at their top 3, they were destroying people. And I mean, you have guys who can't even get 70 points on your team. I don't think they're repeating back to back. So I think the value there is on Kings plus 400 or plus 380, or I think of the two that I saw. So I like those there. All right, next we're going to go to my favorite 2 teams to not make the playoffs. I have quite a few leans on a lot of these. I'm only going to give you these 2 to start because of the value. I'm not going to give you the Sharks. The Sharks are like minus 10 million to not make the playoffs. The first one, we're going with the Canucks. In my head, I think there's not a shot in hell. There's better chance of Bedard going over his goals than the Canucks making the playoffs, and he's not doing that. And they're minus 140. Minus 140. Now, I know you don't want to tie. Obviously, you don't want to tie up cash for an entire season. You can parlay these in a couple places. The first one I was looking at putting it with is maybe my favorite pick of this whole thing, and it's plus 225. The Bruins to not make the playoffs, plus 225. Um, when we're looking at the difference between this year and last year of we'll just go with divisions, not even conferences. The Atlantic Division got nasty. Nasty. The Panthers, I don't think changed. The Sabres got 4x better. The Wings got 50x better. The Senators got way better. The Lightning regressed a little bit. The Leafs got better or stayed the same. The Canadians are always getting a little bit better. The Bruins might be the only team in that division that got worse. I know they were the best team, best regular season team ever in the history of the NHL last year. But this is a team that is going to regress incredibly in my head. I'm not even a Bees hater, I know, but the fact that Olmark put up 42 wins last year, um, that's ridiculous in itself. Their D was incredible. They had great trades to play to end out the season. Orlov was like the biggest contributor to that team for the last month. Um, and Bergeron, people are gonna not understand how big Krejci and Bergeron missing now is. I don't even know who they're gonna try and replace um, in terms of third and fourth line centers, because their depth at center is horrible, and it's going to affect way more than you would think. Bergeron is a top player ever, and now you have Pavel Zacha filling in for him at first line center. So I don't think that they made any moves in that position to have. I know they got Van Riemsdyk, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. So I'm going to take Bruins to not make the playoffs at plus 225. All right, we'll move into. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams over or under points. That when you go through, and here's how in depth I went. I looked at all of their schedules, where they were looking at before, after the trade deadline, strength of schedule before and after, where I thought they would be, um, and division up and down, projected lineups, all this stuff. Compared it to last year, first one we're going to go with is Oilers over 106.5. So um, that's very telling of where some of my other picks might be because I didn't have them winning that division. So I do think this line is way too low. They had 109 last year, 110, 109, I think. And the Pacific just melted. Melted. The Kings got better. The Ducks got better, but obviously we were the worst team in the league last year. Other than that, every other team went down the toilet. I think that the Oilers relied really, really heavily on offense last year, and that this is going to be playing divisional games, even Western Conference games, because I think a lot of the teams in the Central got worse. I think they're just going to manhandle some of these teams. So, and I don't think we're talking when you play 4 or 5 games against a team, you split. I think they're just going to absolutely sweep a lot of these teams, especially in the entire West. So, and obviously that's a majority of their schedule. I think that they're going to go up in points from last year, and they had 109. So I do think the Oilers over 106.5 is a good for me there. Next one. This line is egregious. Rangers are at 103.5. This might be my biggest play of the of picking teams over under points. The Rangers, no way in hell they're going over 100.5 on FanDuel. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I believe I wrote all my lines down from Caesars. As you guys know, that's kind of where I place all my stuff. But that line is egregious. Even at 100.5, it's not going to be an absolute bomb like I was thinking at 103.5. I know it's just a 3-point difference, but it's kind of big towards the end of the year there. They're going to regress. The Metro is gross. Every team in that division, every single team in that division got better. Every single one. Canes, better. Devils, better. Islanders, I would like to say better. I think they underperformed last year. Pens, better. Caps, okay, maybe not the Caps. Maybe not the Caps. Maybe the Caps. Flyers definitely got better, and the Jackets got significantly better. So I think that they're going to have a tough time. I think they're having a tough time getting over that 105 point mark again. And I think that 103 under is a hammer, in my opinion. So we'll stick with the unders, I guess. We'll go back to a team I already talked about. I don't need to go over it again. Bruins, 100.5. Ridiculous line. I know they got 135 last year. They're going to get spit on all season, in my opinion. I don't even think they make a wild card. So 100 points there. Only 2 teams in the Atlantic got over 100 last year. That division is so hard. And next year they are not going to be one of the 2 teams to do it. So maybe if that. So 104.5, that is absolutely ridiculous. I would take that down to probably 98 is probably the lowest I would take the under at for that team. So like that one. I'm going to move back to the Pacific. I think you guys saw this one coming based on what I've said before. I have the Bruins line at 100.5 and I have the Rangers at 103.5, but I would take both of them even under just 100. So, I think you guys saw this fourth one coming, the Kings. The Kings line is at 100.5 as well. I think the Kings win this division. Hate to say that. Hate it. but I do think that they put up that. And if they don't, they're definitely getting over 100 points. I mean, the Kraken got 100 points in the Pacific last year. The Kraken. The Kings can do it this year. So I think that um, I think they're gonna have a big season. Unfortunately, not gonna be happy about it. But obviously, I respect coin. I gave you guys the Kings -1.5 last night against my team. They shit on them. So um, I really do like that one. Last three are interesting. We're gonna go with a team that's probably on nobody's radar, but they got 81 points last year. Their line went up. The team got significantly worse, in my opinion, uh, and it is the Blues. The St. Louis Blues line is 83.5. Now, I understand that this division got significantly worse, but this team is horrible. Horrible. I have pretty much no faith. I think their defense is okay. I think that they're going to stack a first line and have uh, probably Thomas, Buchnevich, and Kyrou as a first line. 86.5 is ridiculous. I liked it at 83. So, um, guys, the VODs will be posted for this, and I will post the sheet of my favorite stuff, and then I'll answer questions at the end. So, um, but I think that this is egregious, and that leaves if you have a second line of like Braden Shen at center with I don't know Kapanen and Vrana or Brandon Saad, that might be the worst second line in the entire NHL. That's worse than like maybe not the Sharks, but that's even worse than the Ducks second line. So, and I'm not even being biased here. Like that's just they're gonna get eaten alive after their first line isn't on the ice. Blues under. Blues under. So I can do a little recap after. So far, we're at Oilers over, Rangers under, Kings over, Bruins under, Blues under. So, and if you guys want to, I'll tell you at the end of this exactly how I spread out my bets, units wise, etc. Everything I'm telling you guys, I have at least a half unit on. I have quite a few units pending for the entire season. So, if you don't have units like that to deploy for the season, pick out your favorites, pick out what you want to sweat. I'll give you like my top three at the end. If you guys just want to place like a couple things, forget about it, sweat it out for the season. So, um, all right. So next, we're gonna move back to a division where everyone got nasty. We're looking back at the Atlantic. I'm going with the Red Wings over 85.5. We're talking about a team that made the most offseason transactions of anyone. They, in my opinion, got way, way, way better. I think last year a lot of people were on them. I will be posting these on Twitter, yes. But you're taking uh, teams where they added JT Compher, who's disgusting in my opinion. They added DeBrincat. They're taking guys like Goss to Spear, Justin Hole. I hate saying that, but third line D, Justin Hole, Sherratt, Sider, Petrie, Wallman. Like their D's nasty. Their power play unit is going to be gross. Larkin just keeps getting better and better, and now he's going to be playing with DeBrincat and probably Raymond on the first line. That is fast, hard hitting, shoot, getting the puck off their stick. They're going to score a lot of fucking goals, and I think that's going to attribute to a lot of points for them. So I think 85.5 is really low. They got 80 last year, 81. And I think that the additions they've made and just some regression around who their schedule is. I think they can definitely, I think they get closer to 90 points this year. I think this might be a sweat, but I think they will definitely make a wild card push, which is going to take like lower 90s in my opinion. So, um, yeah, Nick, and I'll do it at the end. I'll do it in the end. All right, last one. Uh, Sharks under 66.5. This team. I think that if I went out and got some guys that I played hockey with growing up and I picked up 20 dudes who I know personally, I think I could form a competitive team to play against this team. 66 is way too high. I think they're going to get shit on the entire year. I am going to. That was an exaggeration, by the way, Chad. Obviously, it's an NHL team, but the fact of the matter is their forward lines aren't horrible, but their defense, they have Mario Ferraro as their best defender. Their best defender. Like that is horrible. Like their D is so bad, it's not even funny. And then they have Kakinen and Blackwood. Like this is going to be a long season for the Sharks and for Sharks fans. And I went through it last year as a Ducks fan. I already went through it. And I think we might have a similar year, but we're not going to be as bad as the fucking Sharks. The Sharks are horrible. Yeah, Mario Ferraro, Kakinen, and Blackwood. Yeah, they got 3 porn stars back there. So, that is my 7 kind of over-unders that I really like. I will let you guys ask questions on your team later towards the end. Let me just get through what my favorite stuff is. I'll give you my goat whale. I'll give a Freudy 3 for tonight. Or actually, should I do that? Let me do that right now for you guys so you can lock it in because I think games start in what 30-ish minutes. So sorry, I'll pivot really fast just so you guys can lock in some stuff if you want. But the first one, I really like the Devils tonight. Devils money line is going to be in there. I'm looking at probably an almost complete Devils roster. I almost came on the surgical stream and pitched them today. Obviously, it's preseason, so whatever. But I really do think that the Devils are just going to come in here and absolutely smoke this team today. I think the Rangers could put out their full NHL roster that they're going to play on opening night, and I would still bet on the Devils tonight. So, taking Devils money line. I'm taking. So I have 2 of these. I have 2 locked in, and I took a side and I took a total. I'm 0 for 3 in totals, but I really like this one. So you guys tell me, do you want side or the total? And I'll make that the official side. Okay. Well, I'll tell you both, but the side will be the official play. So the official side is Flames plus 1.5, plus 128. The Oilers are, we've taken them how many times? Minus 1.5. And when they put all their guys out there, they're obviously playing their 3rd and 4th line a ton. And the Flames are putting out a roster that are a lot of hungry prospects. So I think that they can keep this one close tonight, and I think that the Oilers' goaltending is just ass. So I'm going to go with the Flames plus 1.5. It's plus 128. Last legs, we're going with the Wings money line. So Devils money line, Wings money line, Flames plus 1.5. That was my original Fruity 3, and then I kind of went back because the Oilers are playing McDavid, Draisaitl, etc. I get it. People are scared. I thought you guys were going to be scared of that. That one's plus 470. Now, the other one that I locked in, we're taking the Flames, or not the Flames. We're taking the Devils and the Wings, but I went with the over, actually, over 6.5 in the Sabres and Jackets game. Again, this is just a team of prospects trying to make the fucking lineups. A lot of young guys from both sides playing, and I do think that pucks will find their way into the net in this game. So I have that one locked too. That one was plus 373, but the original one, Devils money line, Flames plus 1.5, Wings money line. I'll post it on Twitter. Probably while I'm talking, just so other people can see it. But all right, back to the futures. Now we're gonna go with awards. We're going with awards. God, I don't need. If any of you guys say anything, you'll know what I'm talking about. The second, yeah, Wags, I do straight bet them. If any of you guys say anything, just know that I might just ban you once I say what I'm gonna say. So you guys will see. Calder. Bedard minus 140. I get it. He already won it. It's stupid fucking value. They're slurping him off way too much for him to not win. If he doesn't get hurt, he will win. I don't really care what he does. They're just slurping him. So, um, it's ridiculous. You can parlay awards, so I'm not straight betting that for anything. But the fact of what the media is doing right now, if he plays the whole season, which I think he will, and doesn't get hurt, he will win. So, yeah, rookie of the year. So, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So, where can you parlay point totals? I could do it on Caesars. I don't know if you can do it on FanDuel. So, I mean, chat. He made a move last night at the blue line around nobody and then missed the net by 5 feet, and it was a highlight on like 17 Twitters. So, all right. Yeah, Jacket's over today too. Is what I if you wanted the total instead of the Flames. But all right, next. The Rocket, most goals for the season, plus 1,500. Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon. He is out for fucking vengeance. Straight from his mouth, he's putting out 60 this year. He can do it. I think that Rantanen way overperformed last year in terms of scoring goals. And I think that this is a spot where you win the cup, you get shit on, you're very, very pissed about it. And I think that he's going to come out and set a fucking statement and score a lot of goals this year. So I like that for the value. Plus 1,500 is ridiculous. I think he has a real shot. So plus 5,000 on FanDuel is absolutely insane. I'm going to swap over and bet it on there. Holy shit. Caesars had plus 1,500. So the Norris. I hate saying this one too. We're just talking value here because I'm not going to give you guys the favorite. Like obviously it's Makar at plus 150, but Miro Heiskanen plus 1,000. This might be the most valuable guy on any team. He plays so many fucking minutes. He shuts down. He controls the entire game everywhere, all over the ice, offensive zone, defensive zone, and he helps that Stars team out. And it really helps that he has fucking Audie back there, but he is a menace on the ice, and I will give him that. And I think that there's way too much value if he can get points rolling. That's his biggest thing is he doesn't really shoot. He needs to shoot more. I think he needs to shoot more. He'll score more. But his defensive stuff, his minutes, his plus minus, everything's there. I think he just needs to kind of get in the action a little bit more on the stat sheet in terms of points, and I think he could lock that up in a second. So I do like Miro plus 1,000. So MacKinnon was for most goals. Yes, I like that one. Apparently, it's plus 5,000 on FanDuel. That is insane to me. So, all right. Now we're gonna talk about my favorite futures bet. If you actually want to bet any of these, take this. I got plus 350. Sharks lowest points of the NHL season, plus 350. I personally put 2.5 of my units on that exact bet for the season. I just don't see how this loses. I don't think that there's anyone else that is that bad that can get lower than 60. I know the Ducks and the Jackets last year got below 60. Both teams got better, in my opinion. The Sharks had exactly 60 and got worse. I think they're just going mudslide straight down. They're going to be dead last. The play is Sharks lowest points on the regular season. I got it at plus 350 literally this morning. All these things I told you, I waited till today to actually bet them so I could give you like stuff that's closer. So, yes, Sharks were plus 350 on Caesars for lowest points. So, I have 2.5 units on that. That is the most. That is the most I have on anything yet in terms of. Here, let me add a ticker for you guys, and I'll add the Freudy 3 since I can't reach out right now, so I'm typing this out. But I'll type out the Freudy 3, and then I'll put it across the bottom so people can stop asking. Devil's money line. Not plus 15. All right. There we go. That's the Freudy 3. All right, I can see you guys again. POD would be the Devils, in my opinion. I think you could take them -1.5 if you want to straight bet it. I like that. If you pair something with my NBA futures, Bedard Rookie of the Year, or Sharks lowest point total. Sharks lowest point total. I really, if you want big plus money to like help with that, I really think Bedard is probably a fucking lock. But it's again, it's -140. I think that I have more confidence in Sharks lowest point total. So I really do like that. All right, now we'll get into props. We'll get into the goat whale. Let me screenshot this and bring it up on stream so that you guys can lock this in. So we're gonna go with the season-long entry on Prize Picks. You guys have no idea how much back and forth, how much time I've looked into all of this stuff. It is ridiculous. I've locked in like 6 season-long entries. I think 6 or 7, and this is what I landed on. Let's share my screen, and then we will go through them. Here you guys go. My season-long go well. This is what we're rolling with. So I'll start from the top. Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes is playing with a cup contender team this year. They could win the division. I have exactly 10K on it, Yankee. They can win the division. He's first line. He's playing with demons. He is going to put up over 100 this year. And I just think you sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And Hughes, all of these, except for one or more. Hughes is more. I think you sit back and you enjoy the show. And he's going to be putting up 2 points a fucking game. No one's been on him. No one. And I cannot shy away from this. Next one, Hintz. Hintz at 80 points on a team that is going to contend by getting first, and an offense that is heating up, and a Jason Robertson that overachieved as fuck last year, where Hintz is going to pick up the slack this year, is disrespectful. I think he could be in the 100-point, maybe not the 100-point club, but he could be close to the 100-point club this year, in my opinion. And this seems like a free square to me. So I think the Stars are going to be very good. They're going to put up a lot of goals, a lot of points. Obviously, he's going to be a huge contributing factor to that. I think 79.5 is way too low. Next, Nathan McKinnon over goals. I gave you guys my sell job on this earlier. He had 42 last year and missed some time. I think that he's going to put up 50, high 50s, lower 60s. So I think that 39.5 is insane. In terms of looking at just the offense that he's going to need to help put up, because Rantanen isn't putting up, 55 last year? Don't think he's putting up 55 again. Next, this is, if you guys want to make your own season-long entries and you're looking for, Freudy, what's your favorite square? What should I pair this with? What should I do this? You're pairing it with Ullmark under fucking wins. The Bruins are going to regress so hard, in my opinion. They're not going to be 135 points. They're not going to be 100 points, which means they're going to be down 20 more wins. And that is something where it's not even just Ullmark, because I do think he's a solid goaltender. I think that he might not even be the starter by the end of the year. I think that Olmark way overperformed last year, so he got the spot. They were feeding him wins. They were playing great, but they're not going to be on that same level next year. And Swayman, I think, is a better goaltender. Swayman could definitely take over easily as the starter. They're going to be going back and forth, and um, they're going to be going back and forth. And this isn't even just a spite Bruins bet. Like, this is genuinely, I think Swayman can be better and will take over this year. And I just expect some Olmark specific regression. So I think 26.5 is way too high. This is my favorite square that it's on Prize Picks. Not even close. So love this one. Lastly, you guys knew I had to have a duck in there. I really wanted to put Troy Terry points in there. So if you find him anywhere, I would look at it. But it was between Gibby and Zegras. I'm not going to take Zegras, even though I do think he hits over that. I just wasn't going to be a homer there. I think that Gibby over wins is the safer option. Um, he played 52, 53 games last year, only had 15 wins. The Ducks are going to be much better. I think he can easily get 4 more wins. I also think there's a trade factor there. Gibby's a solid fucking goaltender right in his prime still. And I think that with the Ducks, we have Dostal and Callie Klang, who are both nasty. And I think that we might look to move him at the deadline for a team that needs a goalie that is um, just looking for a solid fucking guy. So I think that 18 and a half wins is ridiculous. I think he can get 15 by the trade deadline, and if he gets sent off to a team that's competitive, he's going to have a lot more help, and he's definitely going to put up more than 4 wins. So I do think that this is a great look. I have a 2-teamer with the 2 goalies locked in actually for another 2 units. So I really like those picks. Olmark is definitely my favorite. If you guys want me to fully rank them, it's probably Olmark, then Gibby, then McKinnon, Hintz, Hughes. But I love all of these picks. I've gone over and back. I have 8 more things on here. You guys are not gonna like the net of Freudy. My unit's 1,000, but um, this is something where I'm just so confident in all 5 of those picks. So I will tweet that out after this. I'll go through some other props that if you guys like. I put 10 units on that entry. I put 2 units on the goalies over. Goalies just 2-teamer. And I have 3 units on this next entry, which is going to piss some people off. It's going to piss half this chat off, and I don't give a fuck. It's 1. Bedard under 30.5 goals. I'm not even hating. Bedard is gross. He will be gross. He will have a team around him soon. 30.5 is fucking stupid. Stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. I understand we're in an era where there's a lot of goals scored, but if you guys watched how he played in preseason, which is going to be similar to how he's going to play normally because Bedard is a crackhead. He's dedicated to the game. He sits on the ice all day long. I got to give him hella credit, but I think he's going to be a playmaker. No, this is why I'm not fading points. I think he's going to get hella assists. If we're looking at he's a McDavid-esque player. McDavid's first 100-point season. I'm not going to count McDavid's first season, but his second season where he had 100 points, he had 70 assists. He didn't even cross this line in his second season. He's been a playmaker the entire I think he could easily get 60, 50, probably 50 assists, which I don't think 20 goals is absurd. I think he could do that, but I've just all of these highlights, he's playing much bigger, way better defenseman position wise. So he's going to have to be much more precise with his shots. And as we saw, even with just the AHL defenders who are on him, he's missing the net by like 6 feet. Like it's ridiculous. He's not. I can't imagine what he's going to do when he has to go against fucking Victor Hedman. Like he's going to get absolutely stomped. So it's not taking anything away from him. He's a young kid. He's going to be nasty. He's going to be probably a top 5 player ever. But 31 goals his first season on a shit team, I think is egregious. If you want to tail him, take the hat trick. Take the hat trick. He's going to get 2 goals in a game. You know he is. And then they're going to feed him for an empty netter to get it, or they're just going to feed him if they're down to try and get it. He will have 1 2-goal game, and they will fucking feed him, and it'll probably turn into a hat trick. So I think half hat trick's probably free. But I would tail that or his points, but I would not tail his goals. I would just not do it. Like, this is me stepping aside. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I understand. You guys got to understand on Twitter, I just say it because he didn't go to the Ducks and it's a joke. But his line is 1 goal off of Caulfield's fucking line. I'm sorry. He's not in the same league right now. He's not. It's just not a thing. So, in terms of goal scoring. So, that's the first one. Second one, Pasta under 47.5 goals. I just last year he was getting fed by the entire team. He had so many goals halfway through the season. They were like, fuck it, let's get him this. And then McDavid still just came through. But Pasta is not putting up another 50-goal season. They're going to be fighting. They're going to be lower scoring games. Bruins are going to be focusing on their defense to stay in games like the Canes were last year and winning low scoring games. It's not going to be the Pasta show coming out and scoring every single playoff or every single power play and putting up 60. It's not. I'm taking his under. The last under, McDavid. McDavid 55.5 is the stupidest fucking line I've ever seen for any future ever. Stupid. I understand he had 150 points last year. I get it. Something clicked and he just went full demon for a long time. But if you look at McDavid, 1, he's a playmaker. 2, he 55.5, his second highest season is at like 44 goals or 43 goals. That's his second highest ever season in goals. And they want to take 1 season of congrats. I understand he put up over 60, but setting a line at 55.5 in the NHL right now is absurd. Absolutely absurd. And I'm not having it. I think that Bedard over goals and McDavid over goals are going to be the book's biggest moneymaker this year. I think they're going to make millions on people taking those things. Every single one. Millions. Because they're not going to hit. They might hit their points. I'm not going to take away from the points. McDavid could come out and have 100 fucking assists. He probably will. He probably put up another 130 this year, which is ridiculous. But I don't think it's the goals. So I think under 55.5 is crazy. So if you don't want to fade Bedard at all, just take Pasta McDavid. But yeah, the one I showed you guys, and then I have the 3 goals unders. And then a couple other ones that I really like that I have on here. 2 more. I really like Larkin over points. I know that Chelly kind of sold you guys on that. We chatted about it a little bit. Larkin is on. He's playing with DeBrincat. He's a playmaker. He's going to get 76 points as a joke. I think he breaks 90 this year. I think that line's way too low. So I do like that. I like Caulfield over goals. If he didn't get hurt last year, he would have doubled his line. I mean, 32.5 is really, really low for him. I think he breaks 40 this year for sure. And then Zegras over 67.5 points. I like those 3. So those are just some extra ones. If you guys are looking around, want something else to throw in there, don't like a square that I said. That is what my futures look like. So thoughts on Chelly's entry? I tailed it. I threw 2 units on it. I like it. He's locked. Chelly's in his bag. So he's gonna be killing it. So Cole wants me to discuss oh, okay, never mind. I'm ignoring that. Cole just locked in my gut well, all full fade. So yeah, that's NL. But or was that Chaco? I didn't even look. Which one of you texted me that? It was probably Cole. Okay. I will. Oh yeah, that's fine. I will answer questions now. Sweats tonight? I don't know. Trent's at the gym right now. All right, hold on. I'm gonna start from top. Keller points. I really like Clayton Keller this year. I think that the Yotes are a little sketchy. So I personally stayed off of it. But if you're taking anyone on that team, I'm taking him. I think that Keller is going to be a consistent high 90s, 100-point player. And correct me if I'm wrong, his line was at 80 something. Here, let's see. His line, yeah, 84 and a half. I think he can clear that. So, I'm just gonna, yeah, 84 and a half. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I would take that. I saw a couple Fantilli points. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know how to judge that one. I think he's a solid player, but I think that he might not even play the whole season. Like I don't really know. Reading some of the Blue Jacket stuff, it sounded like he might not even play the whole season. So I don't know if I want to take that square. Um, but we'll see. He's definitely nasty. So Crosby over points I like. This is a chance right here. So I don't hate that one. Um, Nelson points. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys just my synopsis for the Islanders in general, and I think they're just gonna play a very similar game of hockey as they did last year, and they're I mean that entire metro is gross. They're gonna have to win games by just feeding off of Sorokin, and when you look at Brock was their top point guy. He was the only guy to break 70 on their team. I think he was the only guy to break 60 on their team because Barzal was out for half the year. But um, the fact of the matter is, if you are on a team like the Knights, the Canes, the Islanders, their lines, the Kraken, their lines are all very even. When you watch them play, you can't tell a difference between the second and the fourth line. Really, you can tell a difference with the first line, but not the second through the fourth. And I think that the Islanders are going to be in a lot of low scoring 1-goal games, and um, this is not a spot I want to take any overs for just the Islanders in general because I think it'll be very boring, very close. I just don't know. I don't think that. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I think it'll be sweatier than you'd like. If there's anyone on that team that you want to take, I would take Barzal because I think he has the most upside. But I would not take. I really wouldn't take any individual players. That they play a team game, and it's hard to cap individuals on that team, in my opinion. So Barzal would be the only person I would even look at. So, um, which Sabres squares can I take? What are the Sabres squares? I'm trying to think of who. I mean, Tage goals is a little high in my opinion. I think he can get there, but I do think it's a little high just because of how fucking crazy he was last year. Um, I don't think 90 points is out of the question. I like Levi wins. If he isn't the starter day one, the Sabres need to hang it up. They're not serious about winning. They're not serious about winning. If he isn't the starter day one, they're not serious. So, um, don't worry, I'll tell Trent that. Um, I think my favorite Sabres square would be Darlene points, though, to be completely honest with you. So, what baseball bets am I on tonight? I faded Trent on everything. I took Twins. I took Rangers. I have the Brewers, but I think he's on the Brewers. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about baseball. I just fade him. So, um, go down the list of what frequent Predators team total. I would say under. CBJ in general. I don't think you're going to be good this year, but I think 2-3 years you'll be a cup contender. Oh, of all the PP squares. Do you guys want me to just go through PP and fire off like my thoughts? You guys are gonna have to track it on your own though, because I'm not gonna go back and talk about every single one. Like, I just want you guys to know I've looked through all of these, and I have opinions on most of them. But I am not going to sit here and just give you my opinion on every single one because it's going to take 6 hours. So I will go rapid fire if you want. All right, rapid fire. Cooch, 108 points, under. Stamkos, over. Crosby, over. Bedard points. That's if you want to take the over, I would look at that. Eichel, under. 75.5. Sorry, no one on that Knights team is getting over whatever. They played too much of a team game. 75 is high for him, and he's ass. Beniers, 66. This one's tough. I think there's a lot of slurpage going on for Beniers, and I don't think he's that guy. I just don't. I really don't. I think it's a little high. So I'll explain this one a little more in depth because I know that people just think hate on the Kraken. I think Eberle and McCann carry the fuck out of Beniers on the first line. Those two, Eberle and McCann, are nasty. And I also really like Schwartz Burakovsky second line. I think that they're going to be deep. They're going to be decent. I'm just not a big fan of Beniers, to be honest. So I don't know if I take that one. Marner, 99 points. I think Marner's breaking 100 points this year. I think it's Marner's year. Brady Tkachuk, easy over in my opinion. I do like Brady. Aho points. I would lean the under just because, again, team game. I think he had to take control last year with a lot of the injuries. So, yeah, McCann is really good, DJ. I really like McCann. So, Pasta points, under. Marchand. Here's where I'm going to swap it up a little bit. They made Marchand too low, 70. He's going to be an integral part of that team. Like I don't know. 70 is too low. I also think 58 for McAvoy is also too low. McKinnon, 112. I don't really have an answer for you here. I'm going to tell you the same thing. McKinnon, McDavid. I'm going to give you the same answer. They can easily hit those lines, but they're so high that I don't want to bet on them. So, but they are good enough. They could definitely hit them. So, I don't want to bet on them. But Makar, 78.5. So, on first glance, this looks like a free square because it's low. What I've heard from insider sources is that his injury is worse than it seems. Not good. He could definitely miss some time, and that scares me for 78.5. So I'm just going to stay away. If you want to risk it, if he plays the whole season, he will hit this easily in my head. He will hit this easily. But I just don't know if he's going to play them all. So Kempe, 67. I think that's an easy over. I think he's gonna put up probably 80 points this year. I don't know. I hate the Kings, but I'm high on them this year. I do think Kempe is going to be really solid player this year. Kyle Connor, 84 points. I will say both. So I'll go back and both guys, Kyle Connor, Cole Perfetti, both Jets guys. I like both of them over because I think they're going to be the only fucking people contributing. So I think that Kyle Connor SOGs, I might be on it every single Jets game of the entire year. Every single one. So I think it should be fucking ripping. So I wouldn't shy away from those. Fantilli, again, I know he's 46 and a half. I just don't know. I don't know if he's going to play the whole season. So we'll see. Panarin, too high. 94 and a half, too high. Too high in my opinion. If you're going to take anyone on the Rangers, I think it would probably be Zibanejad because he's 10 points less. But can you just put up your goat whale real quick so I can? Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Here, let me add. I really like Cole. I really like Cole. Let me edit the banner for goat whale. Hughes points. Fire off some more fucking questions while I'm typing this out, and I will keep going. But as I was saying, I think that Kyle Connor over SOGs like every single game is going to be air in my opinion. So And that's just going to go back to a team that I think is hurt, and they're going to rely on a couple guys. And it's going to be a long year for them, but I think he's gonna have a hell of a year. So, all right, here is there we go. Goatwell and the Fruity 3. There we go. I got him under there. Pedersen, I like his goals. I don't like his points. Kaprizov, again, I like his goals. I do not like his points. There's a lot of guys that they're just goal scorers. They're not really playmakers. Kaprizov's a playmaker, but they're shoot first guys, and they're not getting a ton of second assists because they're not looking for the long term play. So, I don't know. I like the goals there. Slavkovsky, I don't know. I gotta watch him more. Actually, I have really no opinion on him. He was a fucking letdown last year. I think he looked like dog shit. So we'll see. He looked decent in preseason, but I think he could be better. I don't think he looked like a number one pick though by any means. So, all right. Who is my Metro Division winner? I think the Canes have that shit locked in, but I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna bet that. So it's shit odds like plus 180 or plus 200. So Oza, I locked that in yesterday, dude. Okay. This right here, chat. This. Corey Perry on the Blackhawks. Contract worth way more than he's worth. He's old. He has been a goal scorer for a long time. Ducks legend. This is a great bet. Great bet right here. I love this bet. I mean, he is going to put up 20 easily. I think he had like 4 or 5 in the preseason. DJ. I love Corey Perry. I love Corey Perry. So I just think he's going to be in a role this year that is obviously he's been with a Stanley Cup team, or I'll say what, a Stanley Cup runner-up team the last few years. So I think that he's annoying as fuck in front of the net, and I think he's gonna score. So I do like that one a lot. Is this really what his line is at? I didn't even. This is. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. I like Anderson a lot. I think the Canes win a lot of games. They do have 3 goalies. That's a good point. They do have 3 goalies. I would definitely lean the under here. Top 3 futures. All right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me go back to the old notebook here. All right. So if you guys are like, oh, Freudy just spewed a lot of bullshit, blah blah blah. Like I don't want to have 20 units pending for the whole season, etc. Here's my favorite stuff. 1, Sharks lowest points plus 350. I have 2.5 units on it. I'm totally fine locking that up over the whole season. If I like that one a lot. Next one. Kings over 100.5 points. I think they get 110, 115, probably 110. But I don't think it'll be a sweat. I think that they easily break 100. And then you can pick between Bruins under 100, Rangers under 104. I really like both those unders. Or if you just want to go with the not even money, the plus money, plus 225, Bruins to not make the playoffs. They're not going to get 100 points, and then they're not going to make the playoffs. Both things are going to happen, and you can take the plus 225 instead of the minus 110. So that's what I would be looking at. Yes, I will post this whole thing on you guys can find this whole thing on Twitter. I will literally take a picture of it and put it on Twitter as side by side with my season long entry. So the Red Wings, I mean, they're in my top 5 of team over unders. So POD take Devils -1, Devils and Reg, Devils -1.5. If you're just gonna take a straight bet, Devils are my POD, but I don't want you to straight bet -170 unless you want to do that. But any cup bets. I don't think that there's any value on any team to win the cup right now, besides maybe the Stars at like plus 2,000. But I think Canes Avs is going to be the Stanley Cup final, in my opinion. And you can get almost the same value right before the fucking playoffs start than they have now. So I think it's stupid. Olmark under wins is my favorite prop. Yes. The Wings have been minus 170 all day. I took the Wings at 9:15 a.m. and they're minus 177. So Sharks lowest points I have locked in on both Caesars and FanDuel. Sabres fan, do you think you make the playoffs? I think you have a good shot at a wild card spot. I think that I think fuck. That one's hard because the East is so good. The East is so good. And last year the wild card was Islanders Panthers. I think this year we're looking at fuck, man. I think we're looking at Sabres, Wings, Senators battling for it. I think the Penguins get third. I think it's Canes, Devils, Pens probably, and then the Rangers Islanders battling for a spot out of the Metro, and then I think it's Leafs, Panthers. I don't know. I don't even know if it's Lightning locked in at 3. It might be Sabres or Wings or Sens in third, and then the other two battling for a wild card spot as well. So, yeah, Pens are. I don't think 102.5 is too high for Hughes. I think Jack Hughes definitely gets over. Plus 1,000 for over 120 this year. See, 120, I think that might be a donation. There's only one team that got 120 last year, and it was the Bruins who got 135. I think if you can get like over 110 at like a plus 400 for the Kings, it would be cool. But I wouldn't take over one. I wouldn't take any team over 120. So, your book doesn't offer lowest points. What would I take? Yeah, I do like Sharks under 66.5. That's what I have it at. I would go as low as probably 62.5. All right. I know I'm missing chats moving fast. I'll keep Braden Point tallying 80 this year. Yeah, I don't know why points shit went so low. I think he overproduced last year a little bit, but I like his stuff. Corpy over wins. Corpusalo is just, I don't know if he's a 10D1, dude. I really just don't know if he's a 10D1. He's never been it for me. They might just throw Forsberg out there. So Copley over wins. I didn't really have an opinion on that one, but it's Chelly's favorite thing, so I tailed it. I'm in. So 110 is plus 285. Yeah. I do like I would take the over 110 if you want to just sprinkle that. So click. It's okay if you can't bring yourself to do it. I really like pasta under. I'm sorry. I do like pasta under. Fantasy hockey tips. Oh. I mean, do not go through and make your own rankings. ESPN and all of them. Those fantasy hockey rankings suck. Of my like top 100 guys I was pricing out, I think I changed like 50 of them. So, yeah, draft McDavid first. Actual thoughts on Bedard? He's gonna be nasty, but I don't know. He's gonna be nasty. I just think he's small. He might get tossed around a little bit. So, fuck. I forgot to put. Okay. All right. All right. What else? I didn't get mad. I'll keep talking for like 10 more minutes. Talk some Ducks. Do you guys like know people in the Ducks? Because I'm so excited for the Ducks season. I really think we have really good young guys, but I think it's gonna be another miserable year for the Ducks. I think we're gonna finish bottom 5, but I think that next 2 years, we're gonna be absolutely disgusting. Hawks relevant again in 2 years, 3 years. I think the Hawks, the Ducks, the Blue Jackets, the Canadians, give it 3 years. The Coyotes. It's gonna be a big swap in my opinion of power. So, Vezina winner. Fuck, dude, that one's hard. I really like Sorokin. I do like Shesterkin, but would you trade Zegers and Drysdale for Dahlin? I would not. I would not. I genuinely wouldn't. Nothing wrong with Dahlin, but I'm not trading both of them. I wouldn't. So, I think we got a steal of a fucking contract on Zegers, 5.75. That is holy fuck. But he's pissed about it for sure. Definitely pissed about it. Yurfie Bang, who scored? Who scored, chat? Drysdale is absolutely disgusting. Oh, the game didn't even start. Bruins D-backs. Yeah. Thoughts on Tavares over 30.5 goals? I think it's too high for Tavares. I think he overperformed last year goal scoring wise. I think Matthews will score more goals this year. I think Matthews way underperformed. I think Matthews and Marner will be very solid this year, but I don't think it's a Tavares year in my opinion. I really like Nylander. So Sinbin, I don't know if that specific show is going to come back. I will be doing my own hockey show this year on every big slate, every time. So you guys can look forward to that. Probably after surgical stream sometime, 30, 45 minutes. Anytime there's going to be more than 6 games, I will do a stream every single time. So come on, give my thoughts on every game, Freudy 3, all that kind of stuff. So they took lowest points off. Yeah. Worst regular season team is lowest points. Parlay bet. Same thing. Wags on preseason, I've been putting half a unit. During the regular season, it varies between 1 and 5 units. Sometimes I put 5 units on the Fruity 3 if I really, really like it. So, Frozen Frenzy on ESPN, that's going to be sick. That's going to be sick. Why does my camera keep going all blurry? I keep having to fucking fix it. That will be sick. I'm going to be in Vegas for that first Frozen Frenzy, actually. So, chat, for those, you guys that don't know, Frozen Frenzy, it's going to be red zone, but for hockey. And every time that they do all 16 games, so all 32 teams play, they're having a broadcast that's going to be every goal, every power play, every hit. And it's going to be red zone for hockey. So they're only doing it whenever all 16 teams play. The first one is Saturday, October 24th. Or no, is that a Saturday? It's October 24th. I don't know what day of the week that is, but I'm going to be in Vegas for it. No, Tuesday, October 24th. Sorry, Tuesday. It's going to be on ESPN, but it's going to be insane. We should just take every over, all 16 of them, and just sweat for fun and just pray that 9 overs hit so we can make our coin back. Because I feel like that would just be fun to do. But a unit for me is 1,000. Chat. Brewers or D-backs? I already bet on the Brewers, but I kind of want to fade Trent. D-backs? All right, fine. I'll fade Trent. Can you start giving out grand salami plays? Yeah, I'll give them out if you guys like actually want to hear that stuff. Brewers are dead. No, tough. Oh yeah, I know. I full faded him. So, GG's. All right. Any more season-long hockey questions? I will post the notebook and I will post my goat will on Twitter. Otherwise, I will be seeing until over on Oilers point total. we'll be seeing. I'll be on the surgical stream next Tuesday. So fucking bricked for hockey. Division winners in terms of value, I think it's Kings at plus 400. I think it's Panthers at plus 550, and then that's about it. The other two, I think Avs and Canes take it. So, Leafs points I like. Fave goalie wins prop is Ullmark under, Gibson over. Future with the most units on it is Sharks lowest points. If we're talking consecutive stuff, though, I have Bruins to not make the playoffs and Bruins under. Those have 2 each, so I have 4 units, I guess, on that. Unit size is 1,000 for me, but don't change your unit size because of mine, please. Don't know where it is on DraftKings. I took all of these either on FanDuel or on Caesars. Most of them are on Caesars. Pedersen, I would look to take points, not goals. Hellebuck win total, I thought was a teensy bit high. I think 31.5 is a little high for him because the Jets, they're not going to win that many games. Vegas is going to be worse, yes. Vegas is going to have Stanley Cup hangover. Ovechkin, 41 goals. I think he gets fed the whole year, so I wouldn't take his points. I would just take his goals. Helly trade deadline. Again, I just don't think there's going to be that many wins going into it. So I think he could definitely get moved, but I don't think I think 31 is so high. Blues Stanley Cup is a lock. All right, I'm going to put more units on Blues under 83 points because of that comment. The only bet I would take for MVP that's worth anything is probably McKinnon, but I don't fucking know. McDavid's way too good. McDavid is way too good. Yeah, this Devils Rangers game is gonna be good. So, yeah, T Spencer, I think it's air. They slurp Bedard off way too much. So, I think that is air. All right, I'm gonna head out. Fade Trent, B Bezos, shit's air. Love you guys. I'll answer DMs if you guys have more stuff. But I really like the Stars. I'll end it with that. Stars will be good this year. So, all right. See you guys.